Namaste everybody, and welcome to this Buddhism Guide special practice session today. I wanted to do this special session today because around the world the pandemic seems to be getting worse in many countries, and particularly here in India the situation is getting pretty awful, and there's a lot of stress, there is a lot of fear and a lot of anxiety. So I wanted to do this visualization practice to teach you how to visualize, to pull yourself away from that fear and anxiety and calm yourself down. When we had, around this time last year actually, when we had lockdown, then I was doing this practice for people online on a daily basis, where people were trapped in their rooms and they couldn't go outside. But that's only physically. Physically, we can't go outside. But mentally, nobody can stop us. Mentally, we can go wherever we want in the world. So this visualization practice is like a cheap holiday. So it's a mental vacation for us. Before we do that, I wanted to just talk a little bit about fear and anxiety. So fear and anxiety are the emotions that are called protective emotions because they're there to keep us safe. So it is good to have a little bit of fear. It is good to have a little bit of anxiety, because that little bit of fear stops us doing things that may be dangerous, or keeps us alert for when there is danger around. A little bit of anxiety is good to give us that push, that sometimes maybe we have a presentation, or maybe we have a social gathering that we're a little bit concerned about. So when we have that anxiety, it gives us that boost, that push. So we should never look to try to stop fear and anxiety. It's impossible anyway. They're part of being a human being. But it's when that fear and it's when that anxiety becomes long, over a long period of time, and you're not sure what you're fearful of, or you're not sure what you're anxious of, that's when it can cause us many problems. So before we get into the visualization session, I want to just do a breathing awareness practice with you, which if you are starting to become fearful or anxious, you can just take a moment to do this breathing awareness practice that calms you down. When we're calm and we're brought back into the present moment, we can face whatever is going on. It is so difficult when we get all caught up in that fear and that anxiety, and we start rehearsing what is going to happen in the future or what won't happen in the future. So when that happens and our mind goes off to the future like that, it's so difficult for us. We can't deal with the future. I mean, it's not here. The only place that story of the future exists is here in your mind. So we can't do anything about it. So a simple breathing awareness practice helps to bring you back into the present moment. It calms your mind down. It makes you more focused. And then you'll be able to look at this fear and look at this anxiety in a conscious way, in a more logical and realistic way, instead of looking into the future and it becomes a whole sort of fantasy thing. So the breathing practice we're going to do is a practice where we just keep extending the exhale. Why we do that is because it's the exhale that is going to calm you down. It's going to relax you. When we're breathing in, it's bringing in good oxygen into our body. We'll pause, a little pause, just allows that oxygen to get into your bloodstream. And then the longer exhale means we push out the stale air and we relax and calm ourselves. What we're actually doing is activating the parasympathetic part of our central nervous system, which means we calm down. So maybe because of that fear and anxiety, we've gone into the fight or flight mode. when we do this breathing exercise, it brings us back into that rest and digest mode, which means we're more relaxed, we're more focused, we're more able to look logically at what is happening here. How can I help myself through the fear and anxiety? So what we're going to be doing, we're going to first of all breathe in to the count of 3 and out for the count of 3, and we'll do that for a moment. Then we'll continue breathing in for 3, but then we'll breathe out for 4, and then breathe in 3, breathe out for 5, and eventually breathe in for 3 and breathe out for 6. So the exhale is going to be double the inhale. So I'm not going to count the breaths for you. I'll just invite you to count your own breaths there. I'll tell you what to do, the 3 and 3, then 3 and 4, and eventually 3 and 6. So for this practice, just sit comfortably and lightly close your eyes and begin by breathing in 3 and holding and breathing out 3, and just keep doing that for a moment. And now breathe in 3 and breathe out 4. And now breathe in 3 and breathe out 5. And as you're breathing out 5, just allow your shoulders to drop. And just feel yourself starting to sink down into your chair, becoming nice and calm and relaxed. So continue to breathe in 3 and breathe out 5. And now finally breathe in 3 and breathe out to the count of 6. And keeping your eyes closed, now just breathe normally. So no need to count the breath. Just allow it to find its own natural rhythm. And as you're just sitting there breathing with your eyes closed, just check in with yourself. As your mind started to calm down, as your body began to relax, so now very slowly start to open your eyes. So whenever you're starting to become fearful or starting to become a little bit anxious, then remember this practice and slowly start off 3 and 3 and slowly extend that exhale up to double the amount you're breathing in. This will calm you down, bring you in the present, and help you to deal with whatever is making you fearful and anxious. So let's look at the main practice here. So the main practice I wanted to do today is a visualization practice. So what we're going to be doing, I'm going to ask you to think of a place that you visited before. So a place where it was beautiful, it was calm, it was peaceful, but above all, it was a place where you felt safe. So I'm going to ask you to think of a place like that, bring it into the front of your mind. And then I'm going to ask you to imagine that you're standing in this place. And we're going to be using our senses to really engage. So we really engage with that place. We completely forget about our fears and our stress and our anxiety. Then we're going to sit down quietly and we'll be watching our breath coming in and out, and as we breathe in we'll mentally recite calm, and as we breathe out we'll be mentally reciting relax. So when we do come back to the outside world after we've visualized this beautiful safe place, we'll be feeling so much more calm and peaceful. When we're feeling like that and we're present in the moment and our mind has opened up and relaxed and we've come out of the fight or flight mode and we've put ourselves into that rest and digest mode, it means that we can now face up to whatever is happening. So if you are going to go into lockdown, and maybe here in India it seems pretty inevitable, then just remember, if you're feeling fearful and trapped, just sit quietly and take yourself off to somewhere where you feel safe. So I want you to sit nice and comfortably in your chair. So put your back straight so you can breathe nice and easily, but drop those shoulders so you become nice and calm and relaxed. If you're sitting in a chair, then try to sit with your feet a little bit apart and flat on the ground so you're nice and stable. Your hands, just put them in your lap where they're going to be the most comfortable for you. And now, if you're ready, just very slowly start to close your eyes. And to begin with, I want you to focus your awareness on your stomach. And just become aware of the rising and the falling of your stomach. So as you breathe in, the stomach rises up. As you breathe out, the stomach falls back. So just put your awareness on this rising and falling of your stomach. Don't change your breathing. However you're breathing, it's fine. If your mind wanders off, it's okay. Just gently bring it back and become aware of the rising and falling of your stomach. So let's just keep our awareness on that for a moment. So now I want you to think of a place that you've visited before where you thought it was calm and beautiful and peaceful and you felt safe there. So it may be on the beach by the ocean, up a mountain, in a forest, by a river, wherever it is, just bring that place into the front of your mind. And as you're visualizing this place, I want you to imagine that now you're standing in this place. So just picture yourself standing in this beautiful, safe place. And while you're standing there, I want you to look around you. What can you see? Now I want you to listen for any sounds that you can hear in this beautiful place. And now take some deep breaths in through your nose and just see what different smells you can notice. I want you now to look up at the sky and just notice the beautiful blue sky with just the odd one or two white clouds just floating by. And feel the warmth of the sun on your face. And feel that warmth making your skin tingle. And now allow that warmth to go all the way through your body, all the way down to the tips of your toes. And as your whole body starts to warm up, you begin to feel calm and peaceful and completely safe. Now I want you to sit down on the ground at this beautiful place. And with your hands, just touch the ground. What can you feel? And as you're sitting here, I want you to focus your awareness on your breath. And on the in-breath, I want you to mentally recite the word calm. And on your out-breaths, mentally recite the word relax. Breathing in calm and breathing out relax. So continue to breathe in calm and breathe out relaxed. And as you're reciting the word calm, just notice how your mind is becoming calmer. And as you're reciting the word relax, notice how your body has become so relaxed. So continue to breathe in calm and breathe out relax. So remember, this is your safe place. This is a place you can come to whenever you feel fearful or anxious or overwhelmed. So whatever stress and anxiety and fears you have at the moment, just leave them here. So when you go back to the outside world, you've become more calm, more focused, and more peaceful. So just imagine now that you're leaving all your worries and your concerns and your fears here. Just leave them there. And very slowly start to open your eyes and bring yourself back into the outside world. But just sit here a moment. Just gently allowing yourself to come back into your room. I hope that exercise has made you feel calm and peaceful. I know sometimes when I do this, I don't want to come back. It's much nicer there. So, you know, you can do this for a short period if you don't have much time, or you can do it for a much longer period if you have the time. So this is just to show you how you can do this sort of visualization practice. How long or how short you do it, I will leave that up to you. But if you're extremely anxious and fearful, I would say do it for a longer period of time so you really can relax yourself. So thank you so much for joining me in this Buddhism Guide live special. I hope that you keep yourself safe and I hope that you keep yourself healthy. And thank you for joining me. And I look forward to seeing you again in my next live session. Until then, have a great week ahead. Stay safe. Namaste.